Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. It's from Canto 2, Chapter 1, Text 20. And we have His Grace, dear Krishna Prabhu, to give a class this morning. Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna, all the devotees. Is my voice clear?
Yes.
Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining this morning. Like we see on the screen, today we will discuss from Srimad Bhagavatam 2.1.20. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravan Chari Yamuna Tiravan Chari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Shri Subhadra Jaya Radha Sharad Bihari Radhe Radhe Jaya Nitai Gaur Chandra Gaura Hari Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Srila Gurudev Gaur Premanandi Jayam Vishnupad Paramhans Parivakacharya Ashtatat Shri Srimad Shri Divine Grace AC Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Jayam Vishnupad Paramhans Parivakacharya Ashtatat Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki Jai अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय मथुरा धाम की जय नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय तुलसी देवी की जय भक्ति देवी की जय संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की जय संवेद भक्तवृंद की जय All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome once again to today's Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. Today's discussion is on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, verse number 20. And the chapter name is The First Step in God Realization. So, just to keep the things in context, we are seeing the response by Srila Shukdev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit's question. So we'll recite the verse, understand the translation and purport, and by mercy of Shri Guru and Gauranga, we will discuss more on that. Rajastamobhyam akshittam vimudham mana atmanaha yached dharanaya dhiro hanti yatat kritam malam. Rajastamobhyam akshittam vimudham mana atmanaha yacche dharanaya dhiro hanti yatat kritam malam. Rajastamobhyam akshiptam vimudham mana atmanaha yacche dharanaya dhiro hanti yatat kritam malam. Anyone would like to recite, please?
रजस्तमो भयम् आक्षिप्तं विमूढं मन आत्मनः यच्छेद्धारणया धीरो हन्ति यत् कृतं मलम्.
Thank you, Mataji.
Rajastamobhyam akshiptam vimudam mana atmana yaste dharanaya dhiro antiyat kritam malam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone else? Maybe one more devotee?
Rajastamobhyamaksitam vimudham mana atmana yachedharanaya dhiro hanti yattarkritam malam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, word to word meanings. Rajaha, the passionate mode of nature. Tamobhyam, as well as by the ignorant mode of material nature. Akshiptam, agitated. Vimudham, bewildered. Manaha, the mind. Atmanaha, of one's own. Yachet, get it rectified. Dharanaya, by conception of Vishnu. Dhira, the pacified. Hanti, destroys. Ya, all those. Tat kritam, done by them. Malam, dirty things. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. One's mind is always agitated by the passionate mode of material nature and bewildered by the ignorant mode of nature. But one can rectify such conceptions by the relation of Vishnu and thus become pacified by cleansing the dirty things created by them. Purport: persons generally conducted by the modes of passion and ignorance cannot be bona fide candidates for being situated in the transcendental stage of God realization. Only persons conducted by the mode of goodness can have the knowledge of the supreme truth. Effects of the modes of passion and ignorance are manifested by too much hankering after wealth and women. And those who are too much after wealth and women can rectify their leanings only by constant remembrance of Vishnu in his feature composed of impersonal potencies. Generally, the impersonalists or monists are influenced by the modes of passion and ignorance. Such impersonalists think of themselves as liberated souls, but they have no knowledge of the transcendental personal feature of the Absolute Truth. Actually, they are impure in heart on account of being devoid of knowledge of the personal feature of the Absolute. I will read again. This is very important. Actually, they are impure in heart on account of being devoid of knowledge of the personal feature of the Absolute. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that after many hundreds of births, the impersonal philosopher surrenders unto the personality of Godhead. To acquire such a qualification of God realization in the personal feature, the neophyte impersonalist is given a chance to realize the relation of the Lord in everything by the philosophy of pantheism. Pantheism, in its higher status, does not permit the student to form an impersonal conception of the Absolute Truth, but it extends the conception of the Absolute Truth into the field of the so-called material energy. It's a little technical, but we'll try to understand. Everything created by the material energy can be dovetailed in with the Absolute by an attitude of service, which is the essential part of living energy. The pure devotee of the Lord knows the art of converting everything into its spiritual existence by this service attitude. And only in that devotional way can the theory of pantheism be perfected. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So in the previous verse, we discussed how one who is on the path of spirituality, or one who is a yogi, how he has to meditate on Lord Vishnu, Shri Krishna, the process of meditating on Krishna. Now, this particular verse, it describes the impact of the result of that meditation. That why we need to do this meditation on Lord Vishnu and what is the result of that meditation. Here we see in the beginning part of the purport and translation, this verse mentions the modes of nature, especially Rajas and Tamas, which are in English we can say mode of passion and mode of ignorance. So according to our Vedic philosophy, this material creation, it manifests itself in three forms, in three gunas, in three qualities: Sattva, Raja, and Tamas. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. So everything in this material world is made up of these three qualities. Almost all of us, or most of us, must have seen that famous picture where there is person in a suit boot, suit tie pant, and then there are three devis. They are controlling with the ropes. They are kind of 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6 ropes controlling, right, that person. So they are the representation of mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. So everything in this world is made up of these three qualities. Now these are also called as guna. The meaning of guna is quality as well as rope. The Sanskrit meaning is, the Sanskrit word guna also means rope. So we are bound by these ropes. All living entities in this world, they are bound by these ropes. We cannot see that. Just like on the altar, right? We see when the Krishna, Radha Krishna or God Nitai, we see their dresses, right? They're hanging in the air. But pujaris know there is a invisible string. Not a perfect example in reference to Krishna, but we can't see the string that is hanging those clothes. They look like flying in the air, but in actuality there is a string. Similarly, we cannot see these ropes, but we are bound by these ropes. We think we are free, and we like to think we are free. There is a special pleasure in feeling we have this freedom. But in reality, and if somebody is even little sensible, he can understand that we are not at all free. Always we are acting, behaving, or influenced by these modes of nature. People will say, oh, I tried my best, didn't work out. Oh, I did nothing, but still it worked out, right? What is going on? Some external forces are acting on us. So people who are on the path of spirituality, they understand what's going on. These results, these effects are happening by the influence of these modes of nature. So if somebody, so in reality, if we analyze our situation, we are bound by these ropes, these gunas, so we are prisoners in reality. And anyway, this whole material world is compared to a prison house anyway, right? So we are prisoners, just not like a prisoner who is roaming around freely in the prison house. Even within the prison house, we are bound by these ropes, these shackles. So it is even more precarious situation that we might just realize knowing that we are in the prison. In the prison house itself, we are bound and we are shackled, we are totally controlled. We are tortured all the time. So if someone keeps us in this situation, just visualize, is it really a good situation? Not at all. That's a wake-up call. What did I did wrong? What did I do wrong? Where did I go wrong? Why somebody is, binding me like that? I must have done something wrong, right? So this is a wake-up call for us. So these three qualities manifest within this material world. Actually, these qualities manifest in each and every object within us, and each and every object we see around us. These gunas, these modes of nature, they manifest. Whether it could be our bodies, our senses, sound around us, food, philosophies. Even we will see, if time permits, we'll discuss how even in the path of Krishna consciousness, they might be, or they are actually affecting us. I can talk about myself. And trying, creating so many obstacles in our spiritual life also. So even when we are on the path of spiritual, so we should not think that, just being in ISKCON or just being following the process of Krishna consciousness, automatically we will be not getting influenced by these modes of nature. No, they are pretty well attacking us even when we are on the path of Krishna consciousness. They will impact us until we are purified completely, right? So that's the goal. So effects of modes of material nature is on each and every person, all living entities, that has to be understood. In the last verse, we also see it is mentioned even the samadhi, even at the samadhi stage, one fails to control the materially absorbed mind. So these are affecting us into our mind, to our bodies, and even at the higher stage of samadhi, right? The Ashtanga yoga, yam, niyam, dharana, samadhi, right? Even at the higher stages, these things are attacking us. Now, even what I heard, of course, I don't have this realization, obviously, but what I have heard, even these modes of nature, this sattva guna or tamoguna or rajaguna, they also impact or attack the pure devotees, even at the higher stages of devotion life. But what is the big difference? A person like me gets easily influenced. When I get attacked by these gunas, I react. I'm still bound by them. I'm under their control. But a pure devotee, the big difference is that they can see these gunas attacking them or coming to them, or, just like a movie. They can detach themselves from these gunas. So the point is that as long as somebody is in this material world, these gunas will bind that person or attack that person. The difference is, as we progress, as we advance in Krishna consciousness, then we can reduce or minimize their impact. A new sadhaka like me will easily become angry, feeling lusty desires, hunger, getting attached. So many implications of the modes of nature. It starts getting agitated by little things. Somebody said something, somebody criticized me, and I will start reacting. So that's the only difference between the pure devotee and the new sadhaka in terms of these modes. So the advanced devotee is able to tolerate the attacks of these modes of nature. And he's just smiling, looking at them. So that's the difference. So what we have to do what I have to do as a new sadhak, new devotee, I have to start practicing to tolerate the impact of these modes of nature as much as possible. That's the practice. So, like we discussed, we find, usually what happens is we don't see something as pure sattvic, pure rajap, or pure tama, right? We will see a mixture of these three gunas in everything. But at a particular point of time, one particular mode of nature will be prominent. For example, right now in the morning time, right? Even day is divided into three modes. The early Brahma Muhurt and early morning is mode of goodness, right? And as we go past 7 a.m., 8 a.m. until, early evening, it is mode of passion. Everybody is trying to achieve so many goals, making so much money, right? So a lot of passion in this world. And the night time is considered as mode of ignorance. So everything is influenced or categorized into these three modes. And there could be a mixture. For example, right now we are in the, hopefully we are in the mode of goodness, discussing Srimad Bhagavatam and doing this spiritual discussion. And then after this class, I will get into my work. My mode will become passionate, right? And if I get engaged into some different activities which are not preferred, then mode of ignorance. So, and these and we will see the qualities of these different, or the features of these different modes of nature. For example, when somebody is in, or something is in a sattva guna, it is a stabilizing mode, meaning it preserves, it maintains, it is more peaceful. When somebody is in the mode of goodness, he's more balanced, more peaceful, shant, dhira, right? When somebody is in the mode of raja, it is passionate mode, like somebody like creative. Somebody comes up with ideas and then wants to convert those ideas into goals, and then a lot of effort to achieve those goals, right? A lot of running around to achieve those particular goals. Why? Because it is also connected with enjoyment. That I will achieve the goal, I will make this so much money, I will do this and that, I will create so much, and then I will enjoy. Enjoy what? This material world. So it is agitating to the mind. And that's why people want to become millionaire. Why? To enjoy. We like to hear stories from rags to riches. So attractive stories. These material accomplishments sound so attractive to us because they create so much passion. They inspire us to also become passionate. The good thing about mode of passion or raja is at least there is action. One is not just sleeping, lying after drinking, or just not being lazy. At least somebody is active. But negative aspect is that it is still quite materialistic. and focused on materialistic enjoyment, which is temporary, we all know. It comes and goes, and then again we want to get into enjoyment. But sometimes people who are in the mode of Raja, we see they step up and they show signs of Sattva Guna. Why? Because they now want to do charitable work. They become philanthropists. But not all the time, it is a pure mood. It is a good mood. Sometimes they want to save taxes. Sometimes they hide their illegal activities. But, often we see they want to do some charitable work for the good of others. They will create big foundations, big trusts. So we see signs of this Sattva Guna in the Raja Guna people sometimes. The third one, Tama, is the worst one. It is destructive. It is represented as false ego. What is false ego? That gives us this material identification that I am this body. I'm completely in my body consciousness, because it pushes us even deeper into the material world. Tama also means, just like Raja is active, right? One of the meaning of Raja is active. Tama also means inertia, meaning no activity, lazy. And people in Tama or in mode of ignorance, they have very short-lived goals. And those goals are quite destructive for themselves and for others also. For example, terrorist activities, or they are engrossed in drug or drinking, destructing their mind and body, and also creating problems for others. They're confused, they are bewildered. So at a high level, we can understand or categorize these three modes in this way. Now, even the whole universe, this universe is divided into these three categories. The 14 planetary systems we have in this universe. So, for example, the upper planetary systems, the Brahmaloka, Satyaloka, Maharloka, they are more in the mode of Sattva Guna. The middle planetary systems, including our Earth, it is more influenced by mode of Raja, the mode of passion. And the lower hellish planetary systems, they are mainly in Tama, mode of ignorance. Even we see food, music, our environment, they all are influenced by three gunas, or they all have three qualities, right? Food, like vegetables, fruits. So if we want to stay in the mode of Sattva, mode of goodness, our eating habit, our diet should contain the food that have these qualities, like fruits, vegetables, right? Which is favorable by Krishna, or which is dear to Krishna. But somebody who is in the mode of Raja, or who wants to be very passionate, very active, they will be more inclined towards spicy, oily food, right? That creates a lot of passion, a lot of agitation. On the other hand, we see there are tamasic food like meat, fish, liquor, garlic, onions. Like many times people say, what is wrong with garlic and onion? As per Ayurveda, we know these food, they create the tendency of Tama, ignorance. They bring the impact of mode of ignorance even more on us, right? So based on our goal, our desire, what we want to do, what we want to practice, our dietary habits should contain accordingly, right? Music, very loud music, could be in the mode of passion. It can create mode of passion or ignorance, right? Or on the other hand, the slow music, like a very using, let's say, flute or harmonium, nice, very calming music. It will create calm effect on our mind, mood of goodness, peaceful effect on our mind. So the point is that this food, music, our association, right? Our environment, it can affect our mood. So good news is we have a choice. The point of this discussion is that we have a choice. We can choose the food we want to eat. We can choose the music we want to hear, the sound vibrations we want to hear. We can choose the association we want to be in, the environment we want to be in the right mode of material nature. To at least minimize the impact of mode of Raja or mode of Tama. All right. So how these modes are actually affecting us through our senses, right? Sense of hearing, sense of seeing, sense of touching, sense of taste, right? So that's why these external things like food, sound, what we are watching, cinema, TV shows, right? A lot of people have so much attraction towards news every day. First thing in the morning, they want to hear news. Follow it the whole day. Totally engrossed in this news. But so much negativity is there in the news. So accordingly, their mind will be impacted. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj used to say, just in this little world, one planet, Earth, there is so much news going on, so many newspapers, right? And now, of course, we see so many news channels, right? So, what to speak of the unlimited Vaikuntha planet, spiritual world? How much news should be there? Good news, actually, right? The news that can uplift us. So, like the people of this world, they are publishing so many newspapers day and night, morning newspaper, evening newspaper, so much literature. We should publish, we should distribute this Krishna literature, which contains the news of unlimited planets, the unlimited spiritual world, all the time. We should inundate this world with that news, and that will create the mode of Vishuddha Sattva, even higher than the mode of goodness, right? So the point is that how we can change the influence of these modes of nature by controlling these things around us. So in this verse, in the translation, we see Raja and Tama, the mode of passion and mode of ignorance, are mentioned as bad ones. Bad ones meaning they are not conducive for our spiritual life. Because this whole discussion is going on not for people who have no interest in spiritual life. This discussion is going on for people who have interest in spiritual life. So now, why they are treated as bad ones? The mode of ignorance and mode of passion, because they agitate, they confuse, they disturb us. So therefore, Sattva Guna is preferred over these two gunas. And how can we uplift ourselves in the Sattva Guna? By making the right choices all the time. All the time. It's not like we just did our chanting, our prayers, our spiritual practices, our hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam in the morning. We should continue throughout the day. We should devise or design our life in a way that we can make the right choices. We should be conscious of these choices. That's a very important part of our daily routine. Just not done in the morning, 2 hours chanting, 1 hour our hearing and reading, and then done for the day. No, throughout the day, we should remind ourselves to be more conscious of these choices. Now, one thing to understand that we are to understand from scriptures is even this higher mode of sattva, it is material. So it is a launching pad for our spiritual life. One cannot even understand what we are discussing right now unless we are situated in the mode of goodness, right? But it is still material. So we cannot depend on this sattva guna, mode of goodness, to solve the problems of our life. Which problems? The true problems of life. What are those real problems of life? Birth, death, old age, disease. These are the real problems. Not our daily routine, like small problems that we think they are the problems. They will come and go. But the real, true problems are birth, death, old age, and disease. This cycle of these 4 big problems, we have to break this cycle. This is our problem. So this Sattva Guna also doesn't solve this problem. It will also keep us in the material world. That is why Shri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita explains that we can go to the heavenly planets based on the Sattva Guna or doing our activities, our karma in the Sattva Guna. And we might enjoy there for a long time, but eventually we also come back from heavenly planets, right? So Sattva is definitely better, right? Very much glorified. But it is, and why it is better? Because it is peaceful, it creates conducive environment, conducive consciousness for our spiritual practices. But actually it helps us to start realizing that we are not this body, because now we are also doing something for others. So we go beyond our own selfish nature, right? So we start realizing that we are not this body. I think one of the comment in the purport was that we start realizing we are not this body, but we are something else. So it gives us spiritual inclination, at the least. In that sense, it is very good. It is preferred. Actually, it is also described in Vedic scriptures that Sattva Guna is like a secret door. It's like a passage. It's like a secret door, like a passageway in this material world to get out of this material world. So think about a prison house, and then somebody creates a secret door or secret passage, tunnel to get out of that prison house. So this Sattva Guna is that secret door. We start realizing, oh my God, I'm not this body. Who am I? What is my purpose? What should I do to get out of this bindings, right? So we start having faith in the scriptures, in saintly persons. And then these scriptures, saintly persons, they guide us to advance further, how to really get out. So in the Sattva Guna, we can realize the need to get out, and then our scriptures, we start having faith on those scriptures, and by having faith on those scriptures, like Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, we start understanding and learning the actual process, actual steps to get out of this material world. So in Sattva Guna, this transcendental knowledge starts manifesting. Unless we come to that platform of Sattva Guna, mode of goodness, this knowledge we would not even like to hear. We can't even digest what is being discussed. So now, when somebody comes on the platform of Sattva Guna, he can start following the processes given in Bhagavad Gita, like Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, right? And then he will start getting interested in different ladders of yoga. Now, to keep our discussion in this proper context, just to remind ourselves, Srila Shukadeva Goswami is explaining these things in response to Maharaj Parikshit's question, what is the duty of a dying man? So we are trying to prepare for going beyond this world, this body. So the best thing is not to try to get another body. That's what we understand from Srimad Bhagavatam. Not to come back to this prison house. That it will be foolishness. Once we know this is prison house, trying to come back will be, at least we should try to get out, right? We might be successful or not, that's a different thing. That is Krishna's desire. We leave it to Krishna. But desiring to come back will be foolishness, right? So then the yogi will start practicing Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga, to try to get rid of this body or to try to burn the karmas, right? That is one process. Another solution is to worship the Supreme Lord, Lord Hari, meditate on him. So these verses that we are seeing in this chapter are actually teaching us that even if someone is practicing yoga, he should, maybe following Ashtanga Yoga or whatever yoga, he should come to a point to concentrate mind on the form of Vishnu or Krishna. By that remembrance, by that concentration of the mind on the form of Vishnu, Krishna, we can actually control mind and destroy the impact of these three gunas. Unless then, we will not be successful. We saw the example of Muni Vishwamitra. Even at the higher stages of his meditations, he got distracted, right? But the real solution is to focus our minds or consciousness on the form of Krishna. So then we can control or destroy the impact of these three gunas. Then we cannot just get out of this prison house. We will definitely get out of this prison house in that way when we perfect our meditation on Krishna. Means a lot of things. His names, his qualities, his service, right? But we can also experience higher realms of happiness, bliss, that we are actually looking for anyway. All of us are looking for these higher realms of enjoyment, which we are not getting here. No matter how hard we try, we fail in our endeavor in this material world. But that can be experienced as we start focusing our mind on the forms, on the pastimes, on the qualities, on the names, on the service of Krishna. That is the process that is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, in short, in this journey to uplift ourselves from Tamo to Rajo to Sattva, to the realization that I am not this body, and then to understand the absolute truth, that who is Krishna, who is God, right? And to liberate from this material world. But the problem is that when we start following this step-by-step process, and if we don't have proper guidance, good guidance, right guidance, it becomes impersonal goal. For example, a yogi, because he might have lack of complete knowledge and guidance, he wants to merge in Brahman, Brahman realization. So how to avoid that? So Srila Prabhupada mentions one process for the beginners is pantheism. The word used here is pantheism, which means that person will start seeing God everywhere. Kind of impersonal, but he will see God is in trees, in water, in oceans, in flowers, everything in this material. But when we study Bhagavad Gita, this pantheism, this understanding that God is everywhere, takes a personal form, little step up, right? In chapter 10 of Bhagavad Gita, there are a whole list of things that are described. For example, if you want to see God in this material world, Krishna himself says, I am lion among animals. Of course, he appeared as Nrsimha Dev also. Or if you want to worship somebody, study like mountain, I'm Himalaya in mountains, among mountains. So Krishna lists many such features. It is still material, but a little step up from completely impersonal realization, right? Then going ahead in chapter 11, Krishna describes his universal form, Vishwarupa. That just not individual entities, but whole universe is actually the form of Lord. For example, topmost planet Brahma is mentioned as Lord's head. Patal Lok, the lower planetary systems, as his feet. So like that, different planets, different planetary systems, they are described as different parts of Lord's body. The elements like sound, fire, they are also described as parts of his body. Animals, trees, it is described that trees and the plants, they are his body hairs. Sun and moon are his eyes. Directions are his ears. That's how he listens. Fire as his voice. So different senses of Lord are described in reference to these different material elements or devatas of those elements who govern those elements. So universe in itself is a form representing Lord. as per the Vishwarupa universal form described in Bhagavad Gita. But the problem is, it is still material. It's a step up. Now, a yogi is seeing Krishna from completely impersonal to little more personal form of God. But it is still material. So now we are stepping up slowly, slowly. It is not the best form of meditation, but at least we are understanding Lord as a personal form. So it is described that the universal form of Lord, the Vishwarupa, is for less advanced yogis. But when one becomes more purified and advances under proper guidance, proper knowledge, then now he will start seeing Lord in his heart as Paramatma, the four-handed feature of Vishnu, more advanced. They will understand the nature of Paramatma as creator, maintainer, destroyer. It is even more personal now, right? It's still not the highest. Brahman, Paramatma, and then highest is Bhagwan realization. In Bhagwan realization, you become more intimate. Now, one question may be, what is the difference between Bhagwan and Paramatma? Even Bhagwan, if you see the Vaikuntha, Vishnu is in four-handed form, same Paramatma form, with bluish color, with Shankh, Chakra, Gada, lotus flower in his four hands. What is the difference? Difference is, in Vaikuntha, although it's a similar feature, similar form, he's more personal. Now the devotee or yogi doesn't see him just as an almighty God who is, creating, maintaining, or annihilating, but also creates a relationship with him as a servant, as a parent, as a friend, as a lover, right? The five rasas that we know of. It is more intimate, more loving, million times more blissful. Like we sing in Brahma Samhita, Venum konantam arvinda dalyataaksham barhavatam samsitam buddha sundarangam kandarpa koti kamaniya vishesha shobham govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. Beautiful form is described. And when we get attracted by this beautiful form of Krishna, beautiful qualities, his pastimes, then we want to serve him. We all want to serve somebody who is very famous, very opulent, right? We want to make connection with such person who's very rich, very famous, very powerful. Then we start realizing that Vishnu, Krishna is that person, right? He's so beautiful. Venum kunantam arvinda dalyaktaksham. Shri Prabhuji is singing, I worship Govinda, who is playing flute with blooming eyes like lotus petals. Beautiful form. We can't even, hard to imagine, hard to experience in this state of our consciousness, but very, very beautiful. Nobody like him, unparalleled. And when the yogi or your devotee starts having this Bhagwan realization, this is the goal for devotees, Vaishnavas. How to reach to that stage? Coming back to the basics, follow the process of Bhakti Yoga. So, instead of going through all these ladders of different yogas, then Brahman feature, Paramatma feature, Bhagwan feature, it's a big journey. By mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have given a direct access. We don't have to go through the kindergarten, first grade, second grade. Directly PhD level entry has been given to us. So we should cherish that. It's like if I have to go climb to the 25th floor of an apartment, right, of a building, then I have two choices. I go by climbing the ladders. It's like going through all these different yoga ladders, karma yoga, jnana yoga, and then absolute truth, realizing Brahman, Paramatma, whatnot, right? Ashtanga yoga, yam, niyam, dharana. I might get lost. I might even not make it to 25th floor by climbing the ladders. The other choice is lift. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the lift. We get in, we are in the right association, enjoy the ride of devotional service, and within not even a minute, few seconds, we are there, right? So process has been made very easy, given to us, if we follow it under proper guidance, with proper knowledge, with proper foundation. And yeah, so I think it is already 8:55. I will conclude my discussion here. So the point is that one has to transcend himself from the mode of ignorance, mode of passion, and come to the at least the mode of goodness, and then our spiritual journey begins. And one quick point is that even when we are in the path of Krishna consciousness, it is very much possible. For example, right now, I have this service of class today. What is my goal, or what I'm thinking? That also defines my mood. Am I looking for some fame, some clapping, some applause? What is my goal of this service, right? When somebody is doing Sankirtan, Mahatma Prabhu, His Grace Mahatma Das Prabhu has a beautiful class. That even when we are doing Sankirtan or leading the Sankirtan, what is my consciousness, right? When I'm on the altar, what is my consciousness? So we have to be very much conscious. It's a struggle, it's a journey. So we have to be, the only thing is we have to be conscious, right? And then that will help us to make the mistakes and come back to our, or rectify it. That's why Srila Prabhupada named the institution as International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We have to be always conscious of our choices. And it's okay to make mistakes. Hopefully we don't repeat them, but at the same time, we should not be feeling low, right? Oh, there is no hope for me. No, there's such an easy process has been given to us. Chant and be happy. Of course, chant and be happy, and there is a lot of things in the middle, but it's still, like I mentioned, the lift has been given to us. We don't have to climb all the ladders, right? So we are very fortunate, and we should not think these classes, we think this is free class, right? Sometimes we have this, but Srila Prabhupada also mentions Bahunam Janmanam. After millions of worth of suffering, we have got here that we have some interest in listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, some interest in chanting the names of Krishna. So although it may seem free, we have paid a heavy price, very heavy price, in the form of millions of lives of suffering, millions of, it is described in the amount of tears we have that have come out of our eyes. It is like ocean. We have prayed intensely in the womb. Srimad Bhagavatam explains, in the womb, the child, the baby, the womb is intensely praying to Krishna that, this life I will surrender to you. Of course, the things change when the baby comes out, but it is not free. The point is that nothing is free. It may seem free, but we have paid a heavy price. So when we pay a heavy price, what we do, we value it, right? So with that, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much for allowing me to say so much. I'm sorry I already reached the 9 o'clock time, and few minutes I have a call to attend, but maybe we can take a couple of points, and anyone has any questions, anything I might have said which is incorrect, and whatever I'm saying, of course, I have not realized. I'm just what I have heard from spiritual masters, advanced devotees. So anything I might have said which is not correct, please forgive me. But definitely we can discuss few points for a few minutes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for a very nice lecture describing the modes and the need to get to the mode of goodness as a springboard for transcendence. So many points that you put out that we can definitely think about and incorporate in our lives. I've got one quick question for you, because I know you have to go in a short while. If we end at 5 after 9, is that okay for you? It's 9:01 now. I
Yes,
just want to be conscious.
that's fine. Prabhu.
Okay. So we'll limit it. Okay. So dear devotees, if you have some comments, takeaways, please unmute yourself and share with all of us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear Krishna, please accept my humble obeisance, so grace of Prabhupada. Thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhu. I would like to ask if you could elaborate or shed some light on the last sentence of the translation, that the last half, what Srila Prabhupada said, thus become pacified, but one can rectify such conceptions by the vision of Vishnu and thus become pacified by cleansing the dirty things created by them. So my question, Prabhu, is how can we be aware by what we created in order to get cleansed? So if you could shed some light on that, please.
Yeah, very nice question, Mataji. So somebody who is drowning, he cannot save himself, right? We see that example. So if I'm in the mode of passion or ignorance, I will not be aware because I'm enjoying there. So it is very important that somebody who is beyond those modes, that's why we lean on a spiritual master. They are beyond these modes of nature. So somebody who is not in those modes, he can save us, he can pull us, he can make us realize that we are in those modes. We ourselves cannot. So again, it comes down to my desire, right? If I'm enjoying in those modes, I will not worry about these advancements or these topics. So that's why I mentioned these topics are for not person who is not interested in spiritual topics, one who has understand that he has to come out, he has realized. That's what Srila Prabhupada mentions, after millions of births, millions of sufferings in the millions of births, one comes to some senses that now have to come out. So unless that realization comes, it's again the desire. No one can change our desire. We can get inspired, we can get encouraged, we can get support, but nobody can change my desire unless I want to. So that is the basic, my understanding, Mataji, I have on that point.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, absolutely. When we are stuck, it reminds me of this pastime of Lord Indra, the egg becoming a pig, right? He was enjoying it so much
Yes.
that it took Lord Brahma to come and tell him, what are you doing? But he was enjoying it. But
Yeah, he didn't want to go back.
Right? I mean, if Lord Indra, who is the Lord of the heavens, right, came and became a pig and he was enjoying the pig life, and Lord Brahma can know what does it make us, like.
Right.
So yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Any other questions? We got one more minute. If not, then I have one. Towards the end of the class, where you said that, of course, we have to chant and be happy. And then you mentioned right after that, but there's so many things in between. Just wondering what you were thinking when you said that. So if you can comment a little bit of that side, that's all. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so chant and be happy, right? So, but if I see myself, am I really happy? Am I really in bliss of Krishna consciousness? Not really. That's a struggle, right? I mean, we had those moments where we feel, aha, wow, this is the best thing I have. Then we go back to our material life. So in between, the struggle that we get influenced by these modes of nature, right? When we are not really in Krishna consciousness, it's hard to be in Krishna consciousness all the time. We all must have observed. So that struggle to come back, to bring our mind back to that consciousness that I am servant of Krishna, I am servant of devotees. Very, very hard. Very, very hard. So chant, and then in between we have to serve. In between we have to take care of our diet. In between we have to also take care of our families, our surroundings, our jobs. And in between I have to manage our sadhana. In between I have to manage everything that I am responsible for. So that struggle I was talking about when I say, yeah, so it's an art. So after practicing over years with proper guidance, one might be lucky enough to learn that art. And then we see that be happy, be bliss. Because all the time in the bliss, at least I'm not pure enough right now to feel that bliss all the time.
Okay. Thank you very much for explaining this. Devotees, I'll have to beg permission from all of you because we have to be sensitive to Dear Krishna Prabhu's time. So we would like to end the class here. Thank you for all for coming. Vanchakalpatarubhishya kripasindhiveva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila ki
Jai.
jai.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.